Hey, hello. Welcome. Don't close that dragon stuff because we're here with Dungeons and Dragons. Here for you live. How's everyone doing? I agree. I have been tired all fucking day. Gave us the big energy suck. No one in this chat has enough effort. Muted players? That's not true. That's it. That's impossible. The chat can't hear you, but I don't know why. This is a whole sitch. Give me a sec.
Basically, now we can say what we want until Ollie gets us unmuted.
And furthermore,
It has been done! It has been done! Man, that's like the biggest technical fuck up we've had on the stream for actually years.
So,
Well, apart from that time a couple of weeks ago that Scott started a Zoom call. And...
That wasn't any. That was an act of God. We can't control those.
But now what you have to do at times like this, Ollie, you have to look at the camera and go, professional streamer.
that's what I always do.
Yeah, that's the
I
rules.
darest not.
Scott does it as well. It's just.
Well, I definitely can't do it. He's like
Doxy
way behind on
doesn't
the memes. Yeah, but you know, Doxy can get away with it. Now I'm flustered.
Word salad.
Yeah, now I'm word salading all over the place. Okay. Yeah, no, that would be really good if it was just a stream of just my side. That has happened occasionally on the podcast, but in reverse, where I know I've left myself muted for something, and you just hear the people reacting.
Would be an
Hey.
amusing watch, to be fair, to try and work out what's going on.
It'd be like a Quiet Place or Bird Box or whatever, you know, a whole interesting sensory. They're the same fucking movie. Sensory experiment. Hey, let's play some D&D. What happened last week? Well, I think that's a great question to ask while my internet tries to unfuck itself. It won't be able to. It is impossible. Once you start, you can't stop.
It's real difficult to unfuck something.
Yeah, it's
Can't
like
take that shit back.
You get it. So, why don't I ask Doxy what happened last week?
Oh, the pressure.
I hate this. Okay, so I don't remember how it started, but we rode a train.
Yeah? Train happened.
Indira found out. We was that the time before last that we fought and freed?
I saw a bird.
It's like I'm in secondary
You
school
saw
again.
a bird. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I like really Ollie knows that my memory is really bad, and he did this.
It's good. You could do this. Keep going. We saw a
Okay.
bird.
You saw a bird, and we chased it up a lighthouse, and then he turned into a god man, and he was like, "Hey, you need to go home and see the people, and you need all these bitches with you." And so all these bitches were like, "Yeah, we'll come with you." So we get on a train, and then we go through the Elven lands to the Elven lands, and we got attacked by some griffins. Except for they're not called griffins; they're something else.
Manticores.
Manticores.
And then also Indira found out that that Vale is the last of his kind, the last born of his kind, and she's contemplating offering to birth children for him.
Could be that baby mama.
Also,
That's the
right
Antoma.
Yeah, right at the end. Is
right at the
fun
end,
part.
we set up camp, and then our food was in the process of getting nicked by goblins.
Yes!
Goblins. Also
And then
goblins. There were goblins.
I made a really bad dinner, and then real dinner turned up.
Ollie, never make me do that again.
I can't promise, because it was very entertaining.
was
So, yes.
You should have just declined to do it.
Yeah, it was always an
Well,
option.
what kind of asshole does that?
What kind of asshole pins the synopsis of the last episode on one of their guests?
I do it all the time.
That guy over there in one of these directions.
You've
Where I am.
been in the same place for like 2 years, Dean.
Yeah, but orientation. Oh wait, it's that way. It's up there.
Yeah. I know, yeah, it's different every time. So, yes. As you set up camp and Vale went hunting, found no food, but found frogs. Frogs can become food, so you started roasting them up. Quite proud of yourself. And that's when...
How often have you gone hunting and there just is like, oh, roast dinner! You're in with your bow and then take
Like
it
on a
back.
silver platter with the
That's the
dumplings.
nat 20, that is.
Oh, but
I
no
will-
food, so
I
I brought
will
these
tell-
frogs back instead.
It's very funny that you say that because that has happened in Jarviskjir in the Midwinter campaign. They went hunting and they found a roast turkey. And it was a mimic. It was a mimic dinner. So,
That's the next gen mimic right there.
you know, it found a bunch of hungry people. Fought them.
200 IQ mimic there.
So,
Oh,
you,
also, we all leveled up twice.
Scott makes that joke when he does synopsises, just so you know.
Oh,
I don't
That's
care.
like the D&D equivalent of like, oh, it's the tag doesn't work, so I must get it for free, right?
Hard disagree.
Anyway, so you're cooking it up, have a nice little roast, have a nice little time in the forest lands because you've been traveling through the dwarven lands, which are sparse. So you're kind of enjoying the atmosphere of the forest and taking your time camping when a group of forest goblins leap out from the bushes, being led by a bugbear. Now, bugbears, for those of you who are more oceanically inclined, who know what goblins are via association. Bugbears are big, tall, lanky, furry goblinoids. That's really as much as you would know from looking at them. Kind of imagine a Wookiee. They're pretty much goblin Wookiees. They launch out and they steal the frogs from the fire. They grab them in their grubby little hands. This is the goblins doing so. The bugbear kind of hasn't really completely left the foliage, but is kind of watching everything. And they just start eating, putting stuff into their little satchels, like the other things of food you would have left out because you're sort of like, you know, having a bit more of a meal. You know, your rations and things. They just start snatching, clearly aiming to snatch and grab stuff as quick as possible.
I don't talk to food. I kill food. They would.
Oh,
like
and you
liter-
asked last time how many there are. There are 8 goblins and 1 bugbear.
They
Do
would
they
literally-
understand English?
They would
Common.
draw the rapier and
Common,
stab the
yeah.
nearest one. Just like run it straight through the back.
Is the bugbear within 30 feet?
Give me a second to check. Of you, exactly 30 feet.
Okay. Suggestion. Kneel and submit to me.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kinky.
Looks like my thing here is a little fucked, so give me a sec. Don't unzip while talking about
I zipped
kneeling and suggestions. Look, I know you.
I
Both.
re-zipped.
I know you go both ways.
Like a zip.
Like a zip.
Goes both ways.
Like a fly zip.
It's a wisdom save or a charisma save?
Yep. I wish it was a charisma save.
It would make sense to be a charisma save, but 5e doesn't make much sense. What's your spell save DC?
15.
Ooh. You say that, and that, you know, your voice kind of booms with a little bit of magic, and that's not exactly the correct term, but there's definitely an otherworldly, almost aura coming off you when you cast your spells, because you are a shadow princess.
Particularly with suggestion, like shadows start leaking out of her mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know your number, and that has all the goblins stop. And this is like when Vale has stood up with the rapier, and like one goblin was like on all fours trying to get away. They all stop as they hear and see this, and the bugbear who's leading them, who's very calm looking, kind of like looks at you and then shakes his head and in broken common says, "Already got, my lady.
Then
Give
die.
us- You don't have to die if you want to give us your coin."
Oof.
You're gonna have to roll initiative for that, but not yet.
Oh.
Not yet. Every time I say roll initiative, there's like a primer roll initiative where I say it but I don't mean it. Now you can.
It's okay. We got 2 spellcasters here. They'll just
It's
fireball.
cool. I got the same thing.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
Okie dokie. Green dice for goblins. Silver for monsters.
Biruba.
Okay. Not surprisingly, you guys get great initiative rolls, so it is Vale who, like, when seeing that spell fail, and the bugbear just kind of be like, nah.
Such good initiative rolls, guys.
Can swarm into action.
1, 2, and he extends the rapier into our little gobbo's face.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hit.
And schwung, schwung.
And schwung and schwung.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm checking a goblin's health, but
Might be that. Who knows?
It's dead. You don't have a rapier right now, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you traded. Sorry, I'm fuzzled. The coffee hasn't hit the bloodstream yet. The rapier just goes through the thing's skull. You know, it tenses up for a few moments. You just draw back with a spray of blood, and that's when the goblins very much go into offense.
Hey, it's still my turn.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to take another step forward and jab this boy with the parrying dagger. Let's stab him in the stomach because it probably can't kill him. Right. Might hit, actually, to be fair, on a gobbo.
They do have armor and stuff.
Ugabi.
Gobob.
You gobbo?
Yeah, a 13 is not a hit.
Really?
My bookmark. I feel like every D&D session I say, "Where's my bookmark?" But
Now let's
evidently
see, how far have I moved?
every
1,
time it moves.
4, 5, 6. I can move past, I believe, without. Let me check. Make sure fancy footwork. Yep, fancy footwork. Let me just pop it in chat. Boop. I made a melee attack against it, so I don't have
Yeah.
to worry about that.
Good.
That my turn.
Gilwyn, measuring up a spell.
I'm
That's
going
me
to
measuring up a spell.
cast shatter right there.
You're both pink.
Oh, I'm not even going to get a chance to use it now.
At a 3rd level.
How much
Whoa.
range is that? 10-foot radius?
10-foot radius. So it's hitting everybody but this chap here. And that guy next to Indira.
Yep. Constitution save. What's your DC?
15.
So let's do the bugbear first. So they pass. The goblins pass. Fail. Crit 20. Fail. Fail. So roll the dice and see what happens.
1 sec. 48.
Oh, yeah. That AoE smite, though.
Even the ones that pass, they die. You probably already sitting at camp with the loot. Can easily just strum a powerful chord that makes the trees shake with the force of it, which is very different to the last time you were camping in the forest. Noticeably become much stronger. As
Yeah,
even
it's
the
like full
goblins who hold their large conical ears, they scream out with pain and fall to the ground.
Obliteration.
This is how a life is taken.
And I will step around to this chap.
And that should be
Like, stand up and walk to the corner.
yeah.
Hello.
In this goblin's, like, in his mind, you are, like, the villain of every, like, just slowly walking to in your freaking fluffy outfit and white guitar. Serena, Gilwyn already did the
Yep, so
Bad
my
one.
suggestion, my cool suggestion failed. Gil's just stolen my thunder by killing all of them. So
As
I'm
a
just gonna-
sorcerer, what else do you want to do in life but kill a lot of weak creatures in one spell?
Exactly. I was going to show off one of your custom spells.
I'm sorry.
Instead,
who wants that?
Serena just rolls her eyes and says, and continues. Then you shall die and prismatic blasts that bugbear.
Incoming miss.
It's actually
Incoming
even
miss.
cooler now because these guys have been like running into combat, and then you're like, "Well, you should die."
I'm assuming
Yeah,
21 is a hit.
That is a hit. Yes.
It's probably going to save.
Yes, it does save, but it takes the damage. Yeah.
Serena's still lounging on her on her throne. She's not even bothering to get up.
Absolutely. The blast of fell energy as it hits this bugbear. He'd like kind of braced himself for combat, but seeing all of the goblins just get slaughtered, just kind of bring himself away. He takes the hit, kind of leans on the foliage around, and very clearly like looks over his shoulder back from whence he came, which is actually going to be where he sprints. But as he goes, he's going to throw a javelin at Vale, actually with disadvantage, because he already ran. Which is going to miss. Just kind of throws one of the javelins on his back at you as he's just running through the foliage. Admittedly, it's quite thick thickets here. This kind of terrain is definitely going to slow down your movement, be difficult terrain. But next up is regular goblins. Let me just
Bless him.
This one, Gil, when you walk up to him, all of his allies, his friends, family members maybe, have all just fallen. And he's shaken. Looks up at you. Frog in one hand. Shirk in the other. And
I want to cutting words that if he's attacking me.
he's attacking you. You
I wanna-
can't word saying a goblin.
I just want to look in his eyes and go,
He actually would have hit. So please roll your thing.
oh, mate, if it's a shit roll. Okay.
Nah, he's like, kind of like tumbles with a equally a pathetic noise into the grass and kind of like fumbles around on his ass for a few moments before disengaging and running. This other goblin who is seeing this large woman ready an axe and a mermaid swinging spells all around and all of this also has decided that that's not worth it and will disengage into the campfire, make a dex save, fail, get
He
set
like
on fire.
leaps over it and they just.
Oh, that's so
Doesn't
nice. He's
inst-
cooking himself for us.
Doesn't instantly die, but does as he just tumbles and falls into your campfire. Oh yeah, Vale, you've not smelt that for a long time. Cooked goblin, it's It's a good memory as he's
Brings me back.
yelping and screeching in the campfire there.
Goblin, it's what's for dinner.
Indira.
Indira just starts laughing and running after this guy. Kind of trails of lightning following behind her. And I'm gonna rage, and I'm gonna hit him.
You have to get one closer.
You've got to get one closer if you've got the space for it.
Well, I am right next to him.
Diagonals don't exist.
No diagonal.
Remove the diagonal plane.
It doesn't matter. I still have 10 feet that I can
Exactly.
go, so whatever.
You don't even need. You're a barbarian. You're always in range. 27 hits. Yeah, that's brutal.
And then I'm gonna hit him again.
Little barbar. That
15.
Rip that boy.
is not a hit. Good job. He manages to whip his shield around and just managed to catch the second attack. The first one, just you get him in the back.
Fucker.
You know, moving so quickly. Veil.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just quickly stab this boy in the bum. And step. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I know exactly
There's
what
somebody
happens.
in my home. I'm gonna go look at that.
Okay, you be safe.
You be careful, Doxy.
Today will be the last day Doxy appears on the show.
Don't say that! Don't. I don't want to appear on live stream fails.
Well, I don't want my friend to be her. I don't want to appear on live stream.
She respects the hustle. Vale, as you're running after this goblin, you see this one trying to run back into the foliage. You square up, you take a few steps back, and your leg steps into the loop of a snare, whisks, and spins you up into the tree cover upside down by the leg.
How high up am I?
You're not even 10 feet up. But you are dangling upside down, and it's pretty funny to everyone else.
Yeah.
Was I not muted?
Yeah.
I was?
No, you were muted, I think.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I
we
said
didn't
some
hear
embarrassing
nothing.
shit.
Oh. Ooh.
Can I throw my offhand dagger?
Yes!
I'd like to throw the parrying dagger at him, please.
Please do. I mean, I actually don't know if I allowed parrying daggers to be throwable, but who gives a shit? You're right there. That's a hit.
Yeah, bitch. That's right. Fucking think it's funny to snare me now, D?
I was like, oh, you get a nice little snag on him, maybe be able to track his blood. No, sneak attack damage. I forgot that it existed. Yeah, you just, as he's kind of ha ha, you just into the head. He falls into the bushes from whence he came. Gilwyn.
Okay.
Most of the goblins are dead.
Actually, no. It wouldn't have been sneak attack. I'm not within 5 feet of it. I forget that was 10 foot in the air.
You're not 10 foot in the air. You're not. You're
Oh,
fine.
okay, cool.
Most of the goblins are dead. One is cooking himself in the fire. Indira is chasing down the leader, who's trying to run away.
Okay. Gonna walk up to this chappie. And drive the autumn blade through his head. Making sure I'm not on advantage, because that would be naughty.
You hit. I was so ready for you to miss. I was ready, in my soul, in my spirit.
No.
All right, that is exactly the amount of damage you needed to kill. So you just sink down and in. Goblin stops its squirming and screeching.
And I'll yell,
Shish kebab.
dinner's ready. To Vale.
Serena, Indira is having some fun with the bugbear.
Serena just bursts out laughing at seeing all these goblins die, and then they all get caught in a snare.
Yeah, all of this happening in like 10 seconds is very amusing.
Absent-mindedly waves her hands. I'm summoning the shark of ill omen on the other side.
You're really summoning the shark? Now?
I'm summoning the shark on the other side of the bugbear.
Where the fuck did I leave the shark? Whatever. You're getting a new shark. I may have deleted the shark.
Yeah, I think I deleted the shark before realizing that you wanted it. Yay, Sharky boy.
Sharky boy.
So I need to roll initiative.
The pipes are calling.
Sharky initiative.
I need to move him because he's too close up the
Of course, I rolled a nat 20 on the initiative for the shark.
That's what we get for summoning the shark on a poor.
top. That could have been a prismatic blast.
That could have been a prismatic blast.
How much damage would that have done? Some, you know,
like 66 or something. And now that the shark is giving it disadvantage on saving throws, I'm going to hit the bugbear with prismatic blast again, and probably roll that one and hit the shark because that's how this works.
Doesn't the shark attack when it's summoned?
Not when it's summoned. No.
That's the cup. Very similar.
It's the cup. Yeah. Go prismatic blast. Hit, please.
Yeah, it does hit.
Yeah, that hits.
I'll do.
And that's a damage.
That's a great damage.
And now the shark goes.
And now he fails as well.
Yep, so now he's got
prone.
the shark on one side of him, Indira on the other. He's on the ground.
Some would say it's not quite his day.
What's the shark's name? Chompers.
Chompers. I'm almost tempted to do that. It's
Punky.
I'm sorry, I don't like Punky.
It's short for pumpkin.
I'm not sure Serena would have named the shark, so like.
No, Serena would not have named the shark.
If Indira referred to it as that,
Indira did call it Punky. I remember now. I was just making a meme, but the shark's name is Punky. I totally forgot.
Serena just shrugs.
I don't think Indira ever said it. Doxy calls
That's
the
true,
shark
but
Punky
you know.
to be funny.
So this bugbear gets knocked down on his ass. He's trying to run away. As he's knocked down, this shark appears from the bushes in the darkness, and it is dark. You know, most of you have dark vision, but you gotta remember, like it's like a freaking sleep paralysis monster coming out of the bushes. He on the ground just kind of looks up at Indira and is like, I don't want any trouble with your kind of people.
He sees lightning like flashing in her eyes and like sparks through her hair that's blowing in wind that isn't there, and she just laughs again with the axe like at his throat.
Yeah, when it's clear that's not gonna work, he is gonna. He's just gonna disengage and keep trying to move.
Wasn't he down?
Yeah, but you can get back up. Using half your movement.
He got knocked down, but he got up again.
Case in point. See.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, because he disengaged. Now, does the shark take attack of opportunity? Is the question.
It can make attacks of opportunity
because he had to go around it like twice, so the shark gets an attack on it.
Go shark! Oh. I wanted the shark to hit.
Indira. He's trying to get away.
Go ahead and kill him real fast.
Reckless attack him, go on. Oh, yeah.
Oh! Axe him in the back.
Jesus.
Axe him in the front.
He's down.
Stop! He's already dead.
How do you want to kill him?
With my lightning damage.
Why don't you describe that?
So she's just been laughing like this whole time, because it's funny that he's trying to get away. And as he gets up and runs away while she's laughing, like that's the only reason he could get away is because she was laughing. And she's just chasing after him, just kind of lazily slashing with the great axe, and then points it at him, and sparks shoot out the end of it, and he falls down dead.
Hell yeah. And with that, your little goblin escapade is over. Camp smelling significantly more barbecue than it was earlier.
Indira is insane.
Yeah.
Clinically.
Right?
You didn't think it was funny? You didn't think it was funny that he tried to get away? After all of his... You didn't think it was funny?
No, not at all.
It was a little funny.
It was funny, Indira, the foolish creature. Vale, do you need any help?
As this is happening, Vale is suspended upside down by his ankles in a goblin snare.
Indira would grab him and pull him down.
Yeah. A little rough, but it does the job.
What were these creatures anyway? I can't say I've ever encountered one before. Are they common in the Elven lands?
Well, this thing, and I point to the goblin like cooking on the fire. This is a goblin.
Oh, a goblin. Yes, I've heard tell of them from the sailors.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty little creatures by all accounts. I suppose that was borne out by this. Oh, a pathetic little thing, really.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you could say they are extremely brave.
I do not believe it is brave to attack a group that you think you have an advantage over, only to flee when you realize you are so thoroughly outmatched.
They didn't really attack us, you know, they stole our food.
Foolishness can be misunderstood to be bravery. It's not the first time that's happened.
Indeed.
Well, maybe they just saw Serena from the bushes and thought they could take her. No, it's reasonable, right?
Very foolish indeed, then.
Still, they took or ruined most of the frog, so...
No.
Yes, it looked lovely, didn't it? I seared it to
Smelled very
perfection.
good.
But, you know, me and Gilwyn once had a stew right here in Aradian lands.
Right here on this road as well.
Do you remember, Gil?
Yes, that's why I said no.
Why not?
Because I don't want it again.
But it's quite gamey, you know. I cannot think of the last time I had a meat with so much flavor.
Well, I think these two guys will like it anyway.
Yes,
And
but
I'll sit back down.
it's no fun when I'm only eating with the psychopaths.
I mean, I'll eat it.
Okay, good. Oh, right. Great. I'll,
I think like is probably a rather strong term, but if they are edible, we do need food for the night.
Yeah, they're edible.
oh, yes, very.
Unpleasant as it is.
You, Vale, like, spends a little while sharpening one of his daggers. And then drags a couple of gobos off and comes back with some nicely filleted meat. Hopefully.
Yeah, give me just a general cooking roll, intelligence or wisdom.
You get a nat 20 this.
I would love. 18's still really good.
I know how to cook me some gobbo.
Yeah, so not only do you have that, but you actually do have the one cooking on the fire right now, which, to be honest, want not, waste not. The neat thing about goblins is the lifeline down their body. You don't know why they have it, but the bugbear had it, hobgoblins you've seen have had it, goblins have it. And you actually know from being described that you can kind of crack them open on the seam. So, like, you basically have, like a butterfly goblin roasted right there.
They're like jacket potatoes.
Like jacket potatoes. Which is very easy for you to eat when it's nice and cooked up to, just take a... Hey, Gilwin, just pull the meat out there. It's good. But also...
I'm not in the one that fell in the fire. That wasn't gutted.
I know. Yeah,
You don't know what went on there.
Exactly. But yeah, you go and you fillet some meat. Roast it up. This is definitely a type of meat you want to cook pretty thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to know what kind of parasites or nasties goblins have in them.
We don't really have the appropriate stuff to slow roast it, so it's a stew, really,
Yeah, exactly.
So we wouldn't be able to cure it then? Parasites and whatnot?
You could try, if you really wanted. This isn't for curing it. This is for cooking for tonight.
Right. I understand, but if it's dangerous meat, you don't want to cure it.
Yeah, they're goblins.
Wow, that is just racist. I bet these are pure, organic forest goblins. They are organic, free-range.
Definitely free-range meat. Yeah, you cook it up into a competent meal, and like you said, goblin is very gamey, very gamey, quite stringy, but good eating when you get the right parts.
Lots of protein. Lean meat.
Yeah, an incredibly lean meat.
They're like big rabbits.
That actually probably would be the most apt comparison, which is slightly frustrating. You cook up for the night, and unless you have anything you want to talk about while eating goblin, I imagine you go to bed.
No, I would probably just eat and then go to sleep.
Silently eating goblin together. And you can get back on the road for the next couple of days. Going towards Aradia, it's clear that springtime is right around the corner. There are a lot of evergreen trees, but many trees are starting to regrow their leaves in earnest. Some flowers are starting to bloom. Going towards Aradia is always a little bit of a strange process, because unlike a lot of cities, there's really no wall. Aradia as a city-state is incredibly vast. It just kind of sprawls out from a very dense middle into these very sparse communities on the edges. And that would be where this road goes through. You do pass other travelers on the road. The roads are fairly busy, actually. Especially in areas nearer the city, where people take this road and then turn off towards the many forest communities. Most people are traveling by foot, unlike you on a cart. But eventually you do get into the city, into some of the starting outskirts. Now, you're taking the main road into the city, so the outskirts out here are still pretty populated, because people just entering the city need a place to eat, sleep, fuck, buy, so there's actually some degree of city right here. But it's very quiet. It's incredibly quiet as you start trundling through the city, and I imagine it is Vale driving the carriage as you do so. Strangely quiet. Aradia is always quite a bustling city, even in these side communities and around the edges and the outer edges of Aradia. You've still never seen this area be so quiet, because this is the main entrance to Aradia from the human lands and dwarven lands. It should be bustling with trade, but you can't really see anyone. You kind of look, and some of the taverns say closed for the day on a little elvish sign and stuff like that.
Is there a city holiday today or something?
It's certainly not particularly welcoming, is it?
Could I make a religion roll
Yep.
on if I'm aware of any holidays that these filthy fey wood elves would adhere to?
Yeah.
Back where it all began.
This would be the spring festival. Would perfectly line up with today. The wood elves do hold this festival as, you know, a celebration of getting through the winter, because winter is a very sad time for the Wood Elves. They feel the connection to nature, and they kind of mellow a bit. And the Spring Festival is really a celebration of that, and they don't do it for every month. So you imagine if you get a little bit deeper into the city, that's where everyone is. And even when you think about that, and Gilwyn, like, you know, steps out, you actually start to hear distant music kind of flowing through the air from one of the marketplaces a little bit down the road.
Yes, it's the Spring Festival, Gilwyn.
The festival episode.
Oh my god!
So, we probably would have a fair chance of slipping through unnoticed.
Or, and hear me out, we could go have fun.
Well, I don't know. I've already seen some of your aspect of fun over the past couple of days. Chopping down poor defenseless creatures, you know. Maybe...
You started it!
Yes, but they were all wielding weapons and not trying to run when I killed them.
You guys see a firework of magic explode in the area where you can hear the music, and like you can hear the like elation from the crowd from here as it swells.
That looks dangerous.
That looks fun.
I'd like to go dance.
Well, we need to find somewhere to stable the carriage and the horses.
I mean, I do not believe we can make it through this city in a day anyway, could we? We would need to find some accommodation for the night.
Yes.
So in that case, why not? Well, no. Just perhaps inappropriate of me. Given that it is your race in the balance, not mine. But I was about to suggest perhaps we could spend a bit more time today and relax for a bit.
Well, you know, that sounds really good, except me and Gilwyn might have bounties here and might be arrested.
Oh yeah. Shit.
Yes.
I could go check.
You know, this is not some small island in Tran. They would not have bounties posted everywhere. We have proper guards here, you know?
Oh, well, then it will be hard to spot you.
Just a thought that if you have any sort of official bounty on you, surely the guard at the gate would recognize you. I mean, by your accounts, you are the last born Sun Elf. Surely that makes you quite distinctive.
Well, the bounty might not necessarily be held by the guards. It might be a sort of private killer sort of bounty. We may or may not have made some enemies in House of Gast. They happen to manufacture an awful lot of weapons. In fact, including, we pretty much armed them with the ability to generate firepower weaponry. So, you know, at some point you might hear a really loud bang coinciding with one of those fireworks, and then me or Gilwyn will collapse with a hole in our chest.
You hear a very loud bang. And a cheer from the
He
crowd.
tenses up.
Yeah.
Well, if you insist we lay low, I suppose.
Look, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying perhaps we need a disguise.
It's not worth your lives. Barely.
Wow. Well, me and Gilwyn are going to go anyway, so you should probably help us.
What is even this discussion? Let's go. I want to dance. I want to drink. I want to eat turkey legs. Let's go.
You should probably help us with the disguise.
Sure.
You're right. You won't be much help. Gil, we can do this, right?
Yes. We can. But, Vale, a good disguise needs a good voice.
Right. Right.
Perfect.
I'm sorry,
My
I
boot,
can't.
my
I
boot's
cannot.
stuck in the track, Cheaty. Oh no.
I used to have a
Me,
makeup
man.
kit. I do have a disguise
You
kit.
do have a disguise kit? Yeah, I imagine like you check through
Let's
your
go.
bag very deep in the bottom.
Yeah, like at the bottom.
Hell
Hey.
yeah! Okay, so
Make me look like a wood elf.
while you
Basic me up.
get Indira to find a place to take the wagon and stable it for now, you'll probably have to find a better stables later on when the city is more commerce driven. What do you want your two disguises to be? You got a natural 20. Bear in mind that your disguise kit doesn't have everything in the world, but it has eye drops to change eye color, lotions, potions,
I want to look
face masks.
like a disheveled, like 40-year-old man with like a beard.
Hell yeah. You
and
do
I
the
want-
like the makeup that all the celebrities did in like the early 2000s to sneak into places, you know?
Vale, what would you like?
I think just a wood elf will do me fine.
Just a wood elf.
I want to experience what it is like to be basic.
Okay. And I guess, do you want me to roll again?
No.
Vale?
20
Okay.
for both is absolutely good. You just sort of, use some makeup.
Then I will make Vale look as boring and as shit as possible.
Make him look so plain.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like,
Like
it's just like
you eye drop away the lilac eyes into a boring grey,
oh god.
neaten up the hair.
Oh
So-
no.
He's just incredible. Like, you guys can barely recognize them. The only thing that really gives them away is that they do have very telltale body shapes. Gilwyn is very lanky for a human, and Vale is very broad-shouldered. But other than that,
Can I just say, this is going to be like one of those anime episodes where where there's like a couple of guys walking with women who are far too beautiful for them, so they get all the really jealous stares.
It's like that all the time anyway, to be fair.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
And just so it's
So-
been stated, I will obviously take off my Yeti
Yeah.
coat as well.
just wear some casual clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
And then you guys can go towards the festival. When you do so, it's clear why the town is a little quiet, because everyone is in these sort of the series of marketplaces that go down through the towns. There's areas that are more or less set apart for these kind of festivities. There's drink, mostly fine wine. This isn't a feasting festival. This isn't a harvest festival. And Dira immediately like, I want to go and get some turkey legs. And of course, there's food around. But that's not the focal point of what the festival's about. It's mostly about enjoying yourself. There's bards playing so much music that it does get a little discordant in some areas because it's kind of flowing into each other. There is a fighting pit where people are kind of brawling with each other, but they're elves, so it's a very sort of dexterous, quick kind of brawling instead of just like shoulder to shoulder. There's a play. The main event appears to be this play that all manner of people are all about. It's not on right now, but there's a juggler entertaining and someone telling jokes. Interesting thing that happens as you're walking through. Do all of you speak Elvish?
Nope.
I was trying to remember whether I gave you Elvish, Serena. So, you do get some weird looks as a party. And at one point, one elven child, which, like, holy shit, I don't think I've ever seen an elven child before. They rarely are allowed out of, like, their villas and things. An elven child is like, look, in Elvish, look, mother, usurpers. And the mother is like, this is a very dramatic costumes.
Oh dear.
But you don't seem to get, like, attacked or anything. Vale, you do realize that they think Indira and
Yeah,
Serena
exactly what he thought.
are dark elves. But because it's the festival day, they just think they're people in costume.
So
They think I'm a dark elf. I've got a fucking tail.
Yeah. And the sea creatures are always aligned with the elves, so it's an easy jump to make.
Okay.
Might want to keep our stay pretty short, given that they think you're drow.
Or do they think they're everyday elves dressed up as drow?
Yes, that one. But when not on festival day, they might think the former.
Maybe they used permanent face ink.
What about permanent tail ink? You know, all it takes is a guard to say, "Heh, take that tail off," and oof, awkward.
What is a drow?
Oh, really? It's like having Melody along again. But worse. Drow are dark elves. They are called the usurpers by my people. They attempted long ago to do something very bad. Blah, 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 blah. Now they live underground.
And
They also have very,
think we
very
are
dark skin.
drow?
Yes.
Have they
Then-
even looked at me properly?
You have
I mean,
dark
I am
skin.
assuming that elves, by and large, are similar in build, yes? They have a
Well,
tail. and-
Yes, but you are obviously an evil usurper. Why would you not have a tail?
These people are bizarre.
Some might say you are more bizarre, but sure, you know. But I am just saying, if we want to avoid like a big mob lynching situation, maybe we move along tonight, tomorrow morning, sometime when there's not so many people. Maybe we just keep you in the cart hidden away.
I will not hide who I am, but
Sure, but I'm not defending you when they stone you.
At this point, in that awkward silence, one of the performers, very, very clearly a performer from the play, is like, "You two, you're not with us." It's, sorry, brilliant costumes. Because the play's about to begin. If you're interested, from one performer to another, and we'll...
We missed all of
we
that.
missed like all of that. yeah.
Really?
There was a performer. He went up to you, thought you were part of the play, realized you weren't, said it was about to start.
These two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you two were just fucking randomers.
Well, if this at least is acting as a shield for the day, then can we at least make the most of the day before fleeing this this Emperor's Forsaken place?
Right, yes, sure. Do you wish to sound any more disdainful? Perhaps maybe you could spit on everyone
and
you see.
Do you wish to sound any more like a sarcastic bitch?
Yes, I quite enjoy
Well,
it.
then I will sound even more disdainful, Vale. Thank you very
Gentlemen, you look so handsome today. It's really nice. I'd love to dance with both of you.
Is that to two random people or to these two?
To these two.
You know, wood elf festivals dancing is not really my thing.
Fine. And she'll grab Gil's hand and pull him off towards music. If he relents.
Meanwhile, there's
Relents.
just like glares behind.
I mean, Indira, what's your strength modifier?
A lot. 4.
Meanwhile, yeah, Gilwin's is a little. Whether he relents or not, he's coming with you.
I wouldn't force him. If he resisted, she would stop.
I know, but...
Serena would glare at Vale for like a moment and then roll her eyes, and the performer pointed in a direction, didn't he?
You can quite clearly, like, the stage is the focal point.
Yeah, she
For now,
would start moving off towards the stage to watch that.
What do you do, Vale?
I can't just let her go off and get killed, he says to himself, and then stomps after her grumpily.
Alright, let's first of all do
He doesn't sit
Indira...
with her though.
No, exactly. Like, just somewhere
In the back
else.
row, feet up
Yeah.
on a chair in front.
First of all, let's do Indira and Gilwin. Can you two both give me performance rolls for the dancing?
Oh, I'm on advantage. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't get advantage on dancing.
Right,
for
right.
raging.
Hey!
Hey! That's really fucking good.
She's stoked.
Yeah, well, exactly. You've been stuck in a crummy little cart for months. You finally get a chance to stretch your legs, and you get a chance to stretch your legs with music, dancing with one of your favorite people. You go and take to the area where people, and it's just very impromptu, dancing to whatever bards are playing music. No tunes you recognize, Gilwyn, from when you've been in the city before, but no Gilwyn Gallagher originals.
I hope he sees Caitlin like midway through the dance. She's just staring at him, and he's like,
She's probably here somewhere. Unfortunately,
Almost
she
certainly.
looks just as plain as you do right now, Vale.
Oof.
So very hard to notice her, other than she's human. But there's a lot of humans here to enjoy the festival. You two dancing in however it is you two dance are the prime show. People are distracted, start clapping along with like your rhythm, take your lead in whatever they're doing. The joy you're having in Dira just really encapsulates what this festival is about, and people are eagerly becoming part of it. I know. You dance good, people like it. People like you.
Her joy
People-
radiates. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the main thing. And if there's anything you two want to do while out dancing.
Not with the tension on us.
"Oh,
I
you're
think.
doing so cute." You both go, look to the side.
Well, no, it's just because right now I'm like a 44-year-old.
No, which is
Carpenter.
why it's even better. But funny thing, you notice, because you took this discussion, that most of the humans in this sort of festival actually are quite old. The sort of elven way of life is definitely something humans respect a lot more when they get older. Unless you're Caitlin. Alright, so you guys dancing, you're bringing up the storm. Derek actually found us a word for it in Faerun, for like humans who really want to live like elves.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. You guys go and sit by the play, and actually, Vale, a couple of moments in, you know what this play is, but you've not seen it for decades beyond decades. This is a play called Elvenkind's First and Terrible Greed, a religious tale, which is why you know it. You've probably read the book more than you've watched the play. But the play that begins with performers who are... Wood Elven performers are very extra. Their faces are painted, their outfits are extravagant. There's magic displays, which is merely like minor illusion. Maybe someone casts a silent image like once during the play, but that kind of illusion magic is hard to come by. Literally bards who just, this is their thing. The play begins with the god of the elves, Ereldin Arkbrike. And in elven culture, unlike a lot of other faiths, dressing up and performing as the gods is actually considered a form of worship. These very extravagant costumes where Ereldin has this magnificent armor, which is definitely not real armor. That performer could not wear a full suit of armor. This is like fake light armor, but of painted face and all of that sort of thing. Ereldin meets the sun and the moon, and their outfits are brilliant, magnificent, painted in all these magnificent colors with symbols on their faces and things. And they make a trade. In return for Ereldin giving them the secret of the elves, they give him the powers of the gods to help him ascend. And that's when the first moon elves and the sun elves are made. And this play kind of goes over that little that moment with the first sun elves and the first moon elves who go on these adventures to fight the giants and save their people from the forests. And the people go into the forests, and obviously people enjoy that because these are the elves who descended from the ones that ran off into the forests, right? But you know where this story is going. At one point, one of the First Moon Elves, who is one of the focal story characters here, with lilac skin that's a little darker than everyone else's. Grows very greedy for more power. There's soliloquies about her wanting more, needing more, about her wanting to become the new goddess of her people. And this nameless character is takes, and this is almost pantomime, like she is booed, right? And that sort of thing. Not pantomime in this kind of like campiness of her. She's taken very seriously. There's a lot of other campiness going on. I don't know. There is an elven goddess, an elven god of revelry. That's definitely the comedic character when he's on screen, tumbling, weaving, all that sort of thing. But she attempts to seduce Erelden, and it works, and tries to kill him, but that doesn't work. And this battle that takes place, which is when all the illusionary magic goes forth to display the magic of the gods, and in her punishing, she is transformed into, and you only see like the silhouette of it. It kind of happens off camera, but you see her being transformed into this giant spider and pushed away deep under the earth. The horrifying, fabled monster that is the Usurper Queen and her usurpers. And that's what the play's about. Ends with a bow and all of that. This whole play takes several hours. It's an elven play. It goes on a bit. Definitely could be shortened. But, especially considering this is, you know, Serena, you're smart. You would figure that, oh, this is actually what he was talking about when it reached the point. Which really does give you the context of all of it, honestly. Now, how accurate is this? Well, it's a play. Right, that's done.
Serena is definitely not going to particularly... She would, like, acknowledge Vale, that Vale is still there, but she's not going to say anything about it to him. She will just, at the end of it, begin to snake off back towards wherever, looking for Indira and Gil.
It's not super hard to find them. They are... probably at this point would be done with dancing, trying to find some food and fresh berry pies and things like that.
Ah, you two, did you enjoy your dance?
Lovely.
I found
Everybody loved it.
That is the voice, I see. I like it. It's good.
Maybe I should try to do a voice too.
No? What do you think?
It's charming. Really.
Oh, that's another one. Oh, you're such an actor, Gil.
Thank you. And then I'll like bite into the fucking chicken leg that I've got.
So the play was good. It gave some background information to Serena.
Yes. I mean, they are scared of a fairy tale, then. I don't know. On the one hand, the woman, she desired more power, that is understandable, but she lost control of herself, for want of a better term. That lacks beauty, I will put it that way.
Like me when I'm angry.
I would not say you lack beauty when you are angry, Indira, but...
Aw, she would lean her head on you with that. That's sweet.
So, have we had any thoughts about how we wish to traverse Aradia?
Drunkenly.
Not the best idea.
For tonight.
Not the best
Tonight
idea.
is fun. Tomorrow is business.
I mean, I suppose I could have a drink or two.
Or 7.
But if you get arrested, you know, I'm a little bit out.
Why would I get arrested?
Because the red eyes, the darker skin, you look like a usurper.
But I'm not a usurper.
Right. Yes, but how do you prove that?
I don't know. Not speak Elvish.
Indira, I will say that he does have a point. You know that not necessarily all slaves were held justly. In the same way, they will not necessarily trust your word that you are not one of these usurpers. As much as I hate to admit it, I would willingly stay in the cart for the rest of the time if that is the only option.
I will say something you would have noticed, Serena. This city has a vast canal system.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's the quickest way to get around.
Yeah.
The alternative, and this would obviously not... Actually, no, this would help us both. Have you noticed the canals, Indira?
I?
They cannot spot us if we are deep underwater.
Spoiling a perfectly good day, but fine.
Oh, no, I'm...
Good set of tomorrow.
Exactly. We can relax today, make the most of it, have an enjoyable night.
Then drinks!
Absolutely. What drink of choice would you want? There's a lot of variety.
I want the fanciest thing I can get, considering I have 15 gold. I don't know if anyone else is going to pay.
Well, you would probably not get a bottle, you would get glasses.
Yeah.
I have 0 gold.
I would...
Indira would have to charm drinks out of men.
I was kind of imagining that's what
say-
you were doing so far.
I was about to say, I want to get the fanciest drinks possible. If necessary, I will quite happily
If
chat
you
up
two
some random
want to
bloke
give
buy
me a
drinks.
seduction, persuasion roll, both of you, to see how much you can get just by batting your eyelashes at
You
people.
want to drink?
Ooh. They like one of us.
I liked watching me dance.
It's just
You're
my
too
added
scary.
level of exoticness. I'm clearly not an usurper because of the tail. Therefore, they're not quite as scared of me.
Because it's actually a thing that happens is that people, when you like actually have these conversations with people at the stalls selling the wines and ales and things, they realize that you are a mermaid. It's not an elaborate costume, which could be excused because there's a lot of elaborate costumery going on. And people dressing up as mermaids and sitting in the canals is absolutely a thing that's happening. So when they realize you're a real mermaid, it's just super interesting. Because, yeah, mermaids are in the seas off that way. But unlike Tron, they don't really come up as much as that. So they don't live in the city. So you get a lot of drinks just from people who want to hear you talk about what you are. And then it's one of those things that they realize that... Yeah, exactly. They just realize that you're just a dark-skinned mermaid. You know, instead of being some kind of drow, whatever. They don't even assume that once they realize the first thing. Indira, just on the other hand, was already a little bit tipsy, already a little bit aggressive.
I don't want to drink anything.
Drunk off the atmosphere.
All right.
We'll go
that's
with
fair.
that
Too
then.
eager.
A little too eager, a little too stompy, and then racism. So yeah, you don't really manage to get much in the way of free drinks, but Serena can get you some. You get some drinking. Do you get the fancy stuff that Serena gets? No. But you can drink enough
half a
to get
pint
drunk.
of Coors Light.
Oh,
Fucking
dear.
primo
It's not
drinks
even-
right there.
Not even cold.
Oh, you ruined it.
I like warm beer. I don't care.
Bit of tepid mead.
I'm not against warm beer, to be entirely honest.
I like warm beer.
Yeah.
Depends on the beer, I suppose. What would you like, Vale?
I'm going to have some Thundral Red if they have it. I hope they do. They are not that uncultured.
Yeah. They very much do. There's actually even, like, stalls from Thundral, like, literally high elven stuff served by high elves. They're not the main. They're not getting all the big events, but, you know, you can find some real red wine.
1 bottle, I think.
Yeah, 2
Are
gold.
there any sparring tournaments or
There
anything?
is sparring. Yeah,
Because I feel like Indira could win some money.
absolutely.
2 gold for a bottle of Thundral.
I mean, if you want
I'll-
to spend more on even fancier wine, absolutely, but 2 gold for a bottle of wine is the usual.
I'd like to buy 3 of those for the cat as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Put them
Nice
on,
idea. I like that.
Save that somewhere.
Yeah.
There are spars going on. They're very casual in one way, but also money is being traded around. Sorry, my brain's sort of broken for a second. Also, people were screaming in the sound effects. So let me get rid of that. It's really hard trying to think while people are screaming. The sparring that's going on has its own little area of the festival. Like I said before, it's very dexterous based. It's no weapons, some magic, but not meant to, really
Dexterous
harm.
based, not
Yeah.
strength.
Well, I mean, you can go in the spar and be strong, but the people doing it so far, it's, people dodging and ducking and weaving, because it's elves fighting elves mostly, and not knights doing this kind of thing. It's mostly, the reason why you think you could have a really good chance is that it's mostly just, like, drunken dads sparring. This isn't something that the knights of the city are doing or anything like that.
All right. Indira would sit down at the table with Gil and Vale and be like, striking out with the gentleman. I'm gonna have to earn my own money.
Do you want us to just buy you a drink?
I want to earn my drink.
We have a
I
bottle right
appreciate
here.
it. I
On the
appreciate it. Would you guys bet on me over there?
No.
Gil, do you think I could win?
Well, you didn't beat me, but I'll put 5 gold down.
I did beat you. You said it. Indira wins. You
Stand
said the
up.
words.
Stand up and walk away and look at Vale and be like, no, she did it.
Oh my
And
god!
I would approach the arena.
Please do. You're giving it too much. It's a sand circle.
It's
But
like 4 posts with ropes in between them.
it is actually like a
I was
literal
gonna
wrestling
say the
ring.
ring. I was gonna say the ring.
Ring would be totally more correct. There are arenas in this city, but not festival time. I totally didn't even realize we've been streaming for a heckin' while. Let's go and take a quick little break-areno. We're back in a couple of
Finally,
minutes.
poor Duxie's bladder must be
I
like
know!
It
exploded.
is. I'm not gonna lie.